This is Hannibal here from the Hannibal TV.com, and I'm just doing a quick update to respond to some of the trolls that have been harassing me lately, saying, "Oh, you tell the truth now, you tell your real feelings as a wrestling news reporter, but we saw you on tape when you lost your WWE contract. You cried. You're nothing but a crybaby." So let me just put this into perspective for people. There was way more to it than that. I turned down amateur wrestling scholarships for both a Division I school in the US and a school in Canada that competed in the NAIA and also the Canadian League to pursue professional wrestling. So I had no backup plan when I went into pro wrestling. I worked really hard from 2001 to 2009, wrestled in Puerto Rico, the US, Dominican Republic, and Europe, had numerous WWE tryouts, finally got my WWE job, which was an extended contract that could have actually made me a superstar at the time and was my dream at the time, still in 2009. From by the time I could talk, all I ever wanted to do was be a wrestler. So when I did the WWE medical, not only did I find out that they were turning down my contract for failing the medical, but I found out that I had hepatitis C, which is a potentially deadly blood disease that attacks the liver, that was later proven in court in both Canada and the US to have been passed to me by WWE Hall of Famer Abdullah The Butcher from negligently cutting me with an infected razor blade. Now, I found this out in 2009. I was not at my lowest there. I was depressed, but I was not going around crying. The videos, there was a documentary done on me that aired across Canada 4 times by Global TV called Blood Feud that I was very upset in. That was filmed in 2011, as well as a documentary called This Is Hannibal that won 3 awards at the LA Movie Awards in, I think, 2012 or 2013, but that movie was released in 2012, and I was very upset in that. And the reason being was I had to go through 2 treatments to get cured of hepatitis C. The first one was 19 weeks, full of side effects, but I was told there was going to be a high chance I was going to be cured. You don't find out you're cured until 6 months after you stop taking the medication. So in that time, I was training in MMA. I was actually had an MMA fight planned for August 2012 or 2010 in Gatineau, Quebec. I was supposed to be on an MMA card. I was that confident that I was going to be cured because the doctors had told me in all likelihood I'd be cured. I was testing negative while I was on the medication. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have some MMA fights. I'll go the MMA route. Maybe WWE will pick me up after that when they see I'm cured and fighting. But unfortunately, at the 6-month mark, it came out that the disease was actually back. And at that time, I also had a job in group homes working as a behavioral counselor, and I lost my real full-time job that was actually high paying. And then I found out that the medication that you took and went through all that hell taking didn't work. And by the way, it's going to be 5 or 6 years before we can try a new medication with you. So I was devastated, had serious money issues, and my dreams of being a wrestler or an MMA fighter were gone. So yes, in the interviews I did around that time when I finally decided, hey, I'm just going to come out about this story because I have nothing to lose at this point, I was depressed. I sought counseling. I was on various antidepressant medications. I went through a really bad period that I did some crazy stuff during that period that I'm lucky I didn't die. But I kept fighting, and then there was a lawsuit out of me losing the WWE contract. I ended up getting a settlement out of that lawsuit. That lawsuit allowed me, the settlement that I received was enough to get on a second hepatitis C treatment that was experimental. Superstar Billy Graham actually hooked me up with the doctor in Phoenix that first told me about it. I found another doctor in Canada that got me on this treatment. It was a horrible, horrible treatment full of side effects, bug under the skin itching, insomnia where I was hardly sleeping at all, 36 weeks, weight loss, extreme depression was actually a side effect of one of the medications, interferon, Incivek, and ribavirin. So it was a brutal time. And during that time, I actually lost my part-time job as well, which I eventually got back. But it was a horrible time, but I eventually got cured. I kept fighting. I fought my way through it. I got cured. It's actually been in medical journals that I've been cured, for the people that like to hound me and say, well, hepatitis C is not curable. You're dirty. Why would anyone want to wrestle you? Blah, 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 blah. It's been in medical journals that I'm cured. Big magazines have covered that I'm cured, such as Maclean's here in Canada. National news, TV news have covered my cure. So I don't think all these large media outlets and medical journals can state that I'm cured unless I'm actually cured. And that cure has been reconfirmed time and time again. So yes, I went through a down period. Yes, I was sad, but it had something to do with losing a contract that I worked all my life for and having to work regular jobs, bouncing, getting in real fights, doing other jobs that were not that fun. So I was very depressed. Yes, fighting a disease that looked like a fight at certain times. I would not win, but I overcame it. And now I have this great channel. I'm actually making a living from YouTube now. Thank God. And I thank all you fans for helping me out. But for the people that want to hound me over that, let's see you go through all of that and see if you don't get a little sad. I'm a passionate person. Just like Ric Flair, you'll see Ric Flair shed a tear from time to time. And I sure as hell shed tears of joy when I found out I was cured. And I'm not ashamed of that. I don't care. I'm a passionate human being. I'll answer a couple of your questions. Jeff Miller his family wants to move to Canada. It's already cold here in Canada, and we're not even in September. There's terrible weather here. It has its advantages. The medical system is not good here either, particularly in Ontario. I've had horrible dealings with the Ontario medical system. And Jeff says, F the trolls, don't explain yourself. You know what? I don't mind explaining myself because there's other people that have received that disease, whether it's dirty needles. Sure, people make mistakes in their lives. Sharing a razor blade of someone that has it, that's how I caught it. But I didn't give the guy permission, and I didn't use his razor blade on purpose that had his infected blood on it. And he sure as hell didn't tell me he had it. Or you could get it from a dirty tattoo needle, dirty piercing, blood transfusion before 1990. So I don't mind standing up for people that have it. And Banana Man says, glad I'm feeling better. Chris says, I've done amazingly well. He's glad to see me get past my difficulties. And the truth of the matter is, I like doing this. I like covering lots of subjects. I don't care much about wrestling anymore because I have found other interests and other things that satisfy me, and I like working for myself. So I'm enjoying myself very much in life. Have I ever had to defend myself in the ring? There's been real situations, but I'm not going to turn this update, which was a specific update on overcoming something, saying the trolls, yes, I am right. You are right. I did cry in some videos. By the way, they were award-winning movies and documentaries that aired across Canada. How many of those did you have on yourself? Oak Dodd says, keep up the good work. Much love from Taiwan. I have no plans on returning to the ring. To answer your question, I just want to be a producer, produce Great North Wrestling events, and also I'm doing a Eurodance music interview this week. I'm doing a celebrity interview next week. I did an arm wrestling interview yesterday. I delve into the UFO subject. I get into a lot of topics other than wrestling. And have I had to use defense against fans? And yes, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. Ask me that on a live stream. Have a great night or morning, everyone. To you trolls, hopefully that answers your question. And yeah, there's a lot of people that have killed themselves for less than what I've gone through. I haven't had it the worst, but I am a fighter and I'll never stop fighting. And I haven't reached my peak in popularity anyways. So keep hating, haters. But I will defend myself when you take the low shots against a disease that some asshole was proven in court in both Canada and the US for giving me due to his negligence.